You're listening to It Came From a Podcast. My name is Sergio I am, and joining me, as always, is...
Ricky Casman, what's up?
Yeah, okay, so we're live again, and how many times have we done this now?
I think this is our 4th live show. Still not wearing pants.
I am not either. I'm wearing shorts, because I am not gross.
I'm not going to specify what I'm wearing, or if I'm wearing.
That's still weird. Still weird. So anyways, what kind of a show do we have today for the folks out there listening from the internet?
We have a show full of trailers. We have a show with a very cool, important piece of news about an old movie franchise coming back. We got a new channel that's launching. We got some cool thing of the weeks. We got a jam-packed show.
And there's, you know what, I think one thing we're going to do is overwhelm everyone with trailers, because for some reason, just the last few days, it's just trailer.
It's because we're getting ready for the summer, man. We're getting all the summer movies are going to start coming out, and it's trailer season.
Yeah, and so let's start off with the first one, because...
Wait, before we get there, I want to bring up, today's a very exciting night. It's the night before Daredevil Season 2 comes out. And I cannot wait for Daredevil tomorrow. I just wanted to bring that up.
So you know what's funny is that something happened in this house. I think it's haunted or something. But something bad is happening to everyone in this house. Riley threw up in bed. Kate is feeling nauseous. I threw out my back. You were there.
I was there. It was funny.
It was hilarious. I mean, actually, extremely painful. Extremely painful.
It wasn't. Let me rephrase it. It wasn't funny. It was funny watching you use a
monopod.
A monopod as a cane.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love that monopod. I really do. I feel like I got my money's worth out of it. But anyway, so that happened, and now we're just pretty much all bummed out and tired, and I think I'm ready to binge this with Kate. I'm going to binge Daredevil this time.
I cannot wait. I had originally taken off from work tomorrow just to watch it, but that's not going to happen.
Well, actually, it comes online at what, 1 a.m.?
3 a.m. in the morning.
3 a.m.
It should be 3 a.m. in the morning our time. We're Eastern, so should be around 12 a.m. Pacific. So you Californians and Seattleians and West Coasters are lucky because you got it earlier. I might just wake up at like 5 in the morning and watch episode 1 before going to work.
That's that's how I saw the first Daredevil season 1. It was just by watching it at 3 a.m.
My plan, the thing is, I want to try to do it in one sitting. So I want to try to do it in one 13-hour sitting. So I might just wait tomorrow until I get home from work and just go the whole night through. I did season 1 in 2 sittings, Friday night and Saturday morning. So I'm very excited. I want to do a roundtable.
Yeah, no, we have to do a roundtable on that. I think this is going to be the Daredevil we wanted. And now, I'm not saying that the first season was bad, but what I'm saying is, I think halfway through the Daredevil season 1, I wanted to see the costume. I think almost everyone wanted to see the costume. You just want to see him full hero mode. And that doesn't happen, right? So now this is pretty much him, like, full superhero mode, I'm guessing.
Before we get into the show, there's a little bit of trivia. So we first talked about doing the podcast right around the time that Daredevil was coming out. And we actually, the first podcast we ever recorded never came out. But it was basically it wasn't a roundtable because it was just you and me, but it was season 1 review, and it never came out. So I'm really excited season 2 is coming out now, so that we can actually release an episode focused all around the Netflix show.
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I remember when we did that, it was our first time recording together too. So right. we had no idea what like our, I guess, chemistry would be like. So I think the first thing we realized was that we needed to be extremely scripted, which was pretty funny because I think we kept it was all word vomit, and then it was like 3 hours of word vomit.
It was like 2 hours and a half.
Yeah. Oh, but we've changed since then a little bit. Now we have the suit, and now we're in hero mode.
So we'll get a roundtable going soon. I'm very, very excited.
Possibly this weekend if we're good enough. If we make it.
I'm hoping for Sunday, man. I'm hoping for a live roundtable on Sunday.
That'll be fun, yeah.
I'll definitely be done with the show on Saturday, so it's up to you.
I'll find out by Saturday for sure. All right, so first topic, because we're on the clock now, and it's gonna be a good one, and it's Indiana Jones 5.
Man, get those Get those whips ready. July 19th, 2019, we'll see the return of Indiana Jones to the big screen. Steven Spielberg, Harrison Ford, officially on board for Indiana Jones 5. I cannot wait.
So, I'm the opposite. I can definitely wait it out. Now, I love Indiana Jones. Don't get me wrong. I love Indiana Jones. I love Back to the Future. I love Jurassic Park. All those 90s franchises and, like, you know, a little bit 80s, I guess. I love them to death, okay? So, the issue I have is with Indiana Jones and, what was it, the Temple?
The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, Dios mío. Dude, I can't, man. That thing, I still remember. I remember when I sat down in the theater, I was so hyped for it because I was like, this is it. This is what I wanted. I wanted a theater experience with Indiana Jones. Then he got in the tub and a nuke went off. And I was like, so close to just like saying, no, there's no way that this is going to be like a way of giving me that idea of what this film is going to be about, which is a bunch of random explosions and nothingness. I don't know. It was really weird. It was weird to see that.
Here's the thing. This is why I am excited about it. Lucasfilm is in completely different hands. It's Disney now. I'm sure that they learned tremendously with The Force Awakens, and Disney knows how to restore a franchise, how to bring back a franchise. Kathleen Kennedy, the head of Lucasfilm, she's producing this movie with her husband Frank Marshall. They've produced all of the movies. I think they're gonna know what they're doing. I think this is gonna be the movie that we wanted last time. I think this will be like the passing of the baton kind of movie where we'll be introduced to new characters that will carry on that legacy. I'm like 80% sure Shia LaBeouf isn't coming back. So,
Shia LaBeouf.
So just do it. So I'm sure we'll get a new cast of characters, and I think that this movie's gonna play more on Indy's age, whereas the last one, or at least I'm hoping it plays more on Indy's age, whereas the last one didn't. So I don't think this is gonna be an Indy that's running around, and like I think it'll, I think we'll see this. I think this will probably be the last that we see of like that Indiana Jones like hero, and I think it'll be a passing of the baton kind of thing, and I'm really looking forward to it. Alan Horn, the chairman of Walt Disney Studios, he said, and I quote, "One of the greatest heroes in cinematic history. He's one of the greatest heroes in cinematic history. It's rare to have such a perfect combination of directors, producers, actors, and role, and we couldn't be more excited to embark on this adventure with Harrison and Steven." I'm really glad Steven Spielberg is directing this movie because I don't think anybody else should direct Indiana Jones other than Steven Spielberg.
As long as he's alive, I don't either. So.
You know why this movie's gonna be good, and I hate that this is almost.
So let me ask you: do you think they're gonna kill off his son, or are they gonna just change the person who plays his son?
I don't even think that character. I don't think they're gonna mention. I think Mutt was his name at all.
Yeah.
You know what? You know why this movie's gonna be good, and it's almost sacrilegious for me to say because I idolize this guy, but as far as I know, George Lucas isn't anywhere near this movie, and he's usually the one that comes up with the story, not the script, but the stories for these movies. He did for the last one. So the fact that George Lucas isn't on board, is probably a good thing.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I think the guy is probably he gets a lot more credit than he deserves, and I mean that in the nicest way. Because guess what? I'm not a director. It's just that everyone forces Star Wars on him, and the thing is that to him is not. He's not. I think. You know what? Let me drop that because I'm gonna say some negative things and it's gonna go down. But what I'm saying is this: the guy, everyone expects perfection from him, and that creates this kind of situation where, like, he has a lot of weight on his shoulders, and then you get some crap out of it.
He definitely deserves the credit. He created, arguably.
Yeah, he deserves that credit. But the problem is that
the most important cinematic franchise in history. I think he just didn't know when to quit, or when he didn't know when to let it go. And I mean, at the end, the fact that he created Star Wars, I could never, like, as much as I hate the prequels, I could never hold it against him. So the guy's a legend. It's just he's at a point in his life where he should be doing other things. Stay away from.
That's what I'm saying though. I feel like he let out all his creative energy on these movies, and that I don't think he really planned out much more before, after them. At that point, it's just like saying, "Hey, I have this great idea," and then when you're done with that idea, it's like, I guess I can add more to it.
His issues, like, so when he had the original trilogy, he had everything else planned. He had sequels and he had the prequels planned out. He just and I just think that his ideas are so big that he doesn't know how to wrangle them in, and he's such a control
That's
freak
what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm
that
saying. Yeah,
that
it's that
which is
those are issues that
yeah
he has.
which is now that he's let go of everything, I think it's everything. I think we're in a good place with his creations, but with other people kind of spearheading them in new, bolder, and better directions.
So I'm just gonna, before we move on to the next one, I'm just gonna call it. I think what's gonna happen in this movie, if it's gonna be any good, in my opinion, it's that we're gonna see Indy play the role of his father in the first three movies. As in other words, to pass the torch, he has to be the old man.
His father was only in Last Crusade in the last one.
Yes, I know, but what I'm saying is that he's gonna. Well, I mean, in the original Indy movies,
And
but
part three,
yeah. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna play that same role where he's like Sean Connery's character. You know what I mean?
I would love that.
The reason I like that is because it's the idea of Sean Connery already being old in that movie. Seeing him do these things was ridiculous, right? It's like saying I was way past this already. I'm too old for this.
And you know what? I mean, I don't think he'll do it, but Sean Connery's still alive.
I know. I don't know if they'll bring him in. I think that'll be probably too much. It'd be cool if he comes out as a ghost.
No, he can't. They killed him off in the last one. I think there's
A scene.
There's like a picture or something, and he's like looking at it, reminiscing. So I'm pretty sure he's
Oh,
dead.
I see. Yeah.
But
I sort of erased Crystal Skull. All right. Yeah, so you know what? I'll always hope for the best with these movies, even though I get gut feelings. I don't have a gut feeling about this right now. So we'll see if my gut develops something later on. But until then, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is Comic-Con HQ.
I'm very excited about this one. Very excited. So last year, Comic-Con International and Lionsgate TV announced that they were teaming up to create a subscription video on demand channel that would cover current and past Comic-Con conventions, and that's as far as we knew, basically. Now we learned that the beta access to the service will be starting on May 7th, and the channel will feature original scripted and unscripted series, such as a weekly movie talk inspired by Collider Movie Talk.
Which we watch a lot, by the way.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite show on YouTube. I love those guys. So recently, they're the executive producer of Collider Movie Talk and all of the other Collider movie shows, John Campia. He actually left. He stepped down as the executive producer of Collider, and he mentioned that he had a couple of projects that he couldn't talk about yet in the works. I follow him on Facebook, and he actually has a podcast now too. And then he just announced he's actually executive producing the movie talk show for the Comic-Con channel, which is really awesome because he did a really good job with Collider Movie Talk. So
yeah, agreed.
I'm really really excited for this. And apart from like the movies like that movie talk show, we're gonna get access to everything San Diego Comic-Con. So we'll be on the floor. They're gonna have interviews. We're gonna get to see like everything. The only thing we won't see for now is they said they're not gonna stream live panels because they want the people. Sorry, you were gonna say something.
No. I agree. I think that's one of the things that makes Comic-Con worth going to. Now, I'm not saying that. I think the pirating issue would be the big problem if they even made that available.
Well, I mean, YouTube. Comic-Con usually releases a lot of their panels afterward, anyways, on YouTube. The whole thing is like to have it live, and I understand that because I go every year, so I've been there. Like, it sucks. For example, me and my group, we basically made we basically waited in line a day and a half to get into the Star Wars panel, so over 24 hours. So it would suck if people were at home, were just like sitting down, like waking up and being able to turn on, and they're there. Like, whereas we had to like trek through everything and make the line. So you still need a little bit of that exclusivity because if not, your numbers are gonna drop.
I agree. I agree. Yeah.
So I have no issue with that. And people are probably complaining, but you gotta keep some of that exclusivity. So I'm totally cool with that.
Now, out of curiosity, do you think that's actually one of the reasons they're doing it? It's just because it's so difficult to get into Comic-Con these days.
It is very, very. It's impossible to get into. Not impossible because I do it every year, but it's very, very hard. A lot of people are very disappointed every year that they can't get tickets. So it's just very cool. Because now if you can't get a ticket, you'll at least get to somewhat experience the whole Comic-Con craze, which is such an amazing experience every year. So I think this is great, and I think this is going to it's gonna blow up the Comic Con brand even more. You know, more people are gonna know, and it might. I mean, it might backfire, not backfire, but it might cause issues for Comic Con because I feel that
Yeah.
people at home watching this are gonna want to go even more. So you might get even more numbers of people trying to go next year and so on and so on. So you know, who knows? To me, this it reminds me what they're trying to do reminds me of what G4 was for people who don't remember. G4 was basically a channel that had geek content and pop culture content all day. I think Chris Hardaway got to start on that show. Olivia Munn, I think, was on that channel. Jessica Chobot. I'm really glad that we get a channel like that once again. You know, I'm really really happy. So I don't know how you feel about it.
I mean, I love the idea of it because I already support BlizzCon with the virtual ticket. Have you know about that? I think we talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
The reason I love that so much is that BlizzCon is one of those conventions that I was never 100% sure of. Like, I don't know if I, feel like, okay, well, I wanted to see that one thing and that's it. So having a virtual ticket is like, having access to everything on the floor. Like you said, same here, right? It's going to be the same idea.
The only difference, I think BlizzCon actually they live stream their panels, right?
Yes, exactly. But those things go live as soon as they go live. You know what I mean? So it's not like a trailer that they're going to release in a few months. So I love that idea because sometimes you can't make it a Comic-Con, and a lot of people can't, and a lot of people will probably never go. But this gives them that access to sort of figure out what it's about, and for people who want to go, they can check it out that way as well.
Absolutely.
So you can plan it out for the next year.
What I love about this whole thing that we basically just found out is that when they first announced it last year, we thought, and it was kind of the way that they announced it, we thought it was only going to be Comic-Con, but it's so much more than that. They're actually creating an entire channel based around pop culture and movies and all that stuff. So it's not just Comic-Con. It's basically a reincarnation of G4, which I'm super excited about. So I think right now it's gonna be released via browsers, iOS and Android, and then eventually they're gonna roll it out to like Xbox Ones, Apple TVs, Roku's. So it's gonna be a digital. It's a subscription digital service. I don't think it'll be hitting TV anytime soon, cable TV anytime soon, but it's the future, so
I'm sure. Yeah, this is a great thing for Comic-Con because they're suffering with a lack of space right now, so it makes perfect sense.
Every year it gets more people want to go, and it feels like it gets smaller and smaller the space, even though it doesn't. There's been rumblings of moving to Vegas and stuff because it houses more people, but I mean, I would hate for Comic-Con to ever leave San Diego because there's something charming about the surrounding area that I think would get lost if it went somewhere like Vegas. But yeah, I'm really excited. It's May 7th is right around the corner, so hopefully we can get some beta access to that and test it out.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I think the beta's free, right, for everyone. You can sign up via. Well, I signed up via email, and it says that you're free, starting I think May 7th, I believe.
You gotta send me that link.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. It's worth checking out because it said free. So I signed up for it on the spot.
I mean, I'd pay for it.
No, of course. Yeah, same here. Yeah, but if it's free, I'm not going to pay for it.
Yeah.
All right, so next up, we're talking Punisher and Spidey audition tapes because this sounds almost like it's pornographic or something. Like it's like we found the secret tapes.
Right. This one was actually this story I read today and I thought it was pretty cool. Like it's almost a non-story. It's just it was just a really cool little tidbit of. So apparently John Bernthal, who's playing Punisher and Daredevil, and Tom Holland, who's playing Spider-Man, they did a movie together called Pilgrimage. It was an indie film. I think they filmed it in Ireland. And apparently when they were filming the movie, they were both in talks with Marvel to play the role. So they helped each other shoot audition tapes, and they were like in each other's audition tapes, which is ironic because there's been a lot of team-ups, or not necessarily team-ups, but like there's been a lot of issues with Spider-Man and Punisher where they're both together. So to have these two actors audition together and both get the roles, was a little interesting to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff that you really like to know. Because it's so interesting because if these kind of little things have a tendency of building up. If enough people go crazy over this, you know what? They may possibly find a way to have these involved somehow. And this is something that happens with like Deadpool. Remember Deadpool leaked? And that's what caused it to become what it is now. It was sort of an accident or something in the behind the scenes.
We're gonna say leaked in
leaked.
air quotations because every time that like they talk about it, they like use air quotes and stuff like that. That was definitely an inside job. Dude, I would. The tone is so different, but I would love to see a Punisher and Spidey team up at some point in the MCU. I mean, it's the same universe, so it's doable.
I do love in the comics when Punisher and Spider-Man meet up because it's just it's just there's such polar opposites, and it makes for great like slapstick.
We know that the Netflix stuff is part of the MCU, but we still haven't seen it cross over. So this is the perfect opportunity, you know, even if it's like 2 seconds.
And let's be honest, dude, being in a Netflix series like Daredevil, you know, people always talk down like movies versus TV, right? But this is like TV done in a way that's like, think of it like a 13-hour movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I would argue that TV is in a better state than film is right now. Just because of that, because like the way that they're shooting TV now, especially these Netflix shows, they're shooting them like movies, and you're getting them everything.
Yeah, of course.
You're getting everything all at once, so you can watch it as a movie. I mean, I'll go this far. Daredevil is probably. It's probably one of the greatest superhero film things ever. One of the greatest superhero stories ever put on film. Period. Like even comparing it to other movies, like Daredevil was incredible.
I like Batman too.
Yeah, but Batman was good, but Daredevil, it felt a lot like it had that same kind of tone that we're used to with Batman and stuff. So yeah, like I said, non-story, but just a cool little tidbit of information I thought.
Yeah.
These audition tapes.
All right, is that everything you got on that one?
Yeah, on to the next.
All right, because that was pretty much just like behind the scenes, which reminds me of like how much I love behind the scenes stuff. Anyways, so next up we have Supergirl plus Flash teaser because you love this thing so much. So it's just like, a teaser we're talking about.
It's like two of my favorite shows. You know what's crazy? How much crap we talked about Supergirl and it ended up becoming before it even came out, and it's like one of my favorite shows on TV. I love Supergirl. It's such a good show. And Flash is such a good show, and the fact that they were able to come together and do this little joint episode, even though they're on different networks, is amazing. It's the name of the episode. It's World's Finest. There's a very famous comic book cover. It's a Superman comic book cover, I think, where it's Superman and the Flash, and it says World's Finest, and it says who is like the fastest man alive, and it's both of them running in the cover. And the poster for this episode is basically that cover, but they replaced Superman with Supergirl. And it airs March 28th, and they release a teaser. It's basically just them running around. But the fact that we actually
acting like 10-year-olds, yeah.
Yeah, the fact that we actually see it like them together on screen is cool. And we got DC Entertainment actually gave us a synopsis for the synopsis for the episode. So it goes like this. It goes: Kara gains a new ally when the lightning fast superhero the Flash suddenly appears from an alternate universe and helps Kara battle Siobhan, aka Silver Banshee, and Livewire in exchange for her help in finding a way to return him home. So basically, we're saying that Supergirl's universe is like Earth 3 at this point.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of Earths already on. There's
of course, it's just like for some reason, comic books always do this. Like multiple universes all over the place, confuse your readers.
So on Flash, I guess there's a little bit of a spoiler warning, but on Flash there's 2 Earths right now, and I was kind of hoping that when they crossed over with Supergirl, she would be either Earth 1 or Earth 2, because it would keep it a little more current to the universe of the Flash. But this looks like it's gonna be like an Earth 3 kind of situation. So, but it's cool if it's the only way that DC would let them do it. You know.
Let's be honest. If there's anything we know from comics is that you can do whatever the hell you want because there's always some crazy workaround, and it'll always work out. That's what I've learned.
Especially DC. DC tends to bend the rules a lot.
Marvel too, though. Marvel too. They have the universes too, man. They had to like wipe it out.
I feel Marvel. You had 616 and you had Ultimate. Like DC has done some crazy multiverse stuff, man. Like I'm glad they're gonna rein it in with Rebirth, hopefully. But man, besides that, I'm excited for this episode. It's gonna be cool.
No, I'm sure it is because I made the cover art for that episode 2 weeks ago. So we're waiting to use it. But yeah, agreed. I think it's gonna be fun to use. And another thing I want to bring up though, I haven't seen Supergirl yet, but the first episode I gave a lot of let's just call it a negative review, because the first one was very girly, but I feel from what I've been reading,
You
it's
gotta
actually
keep
been
watching.
turning. Yeah, it's been turning into something better.
It is very, it's very close to what the Flash is on CW. It's like every complaint you had in the first episode, it feels like the producers like heard you, and then just like kept on like making better and better and better. It's really, I almost, because I hate Superman and his whole family, like the whole Superman universe. So
Yeah.
I almost hate the fact that I love this show so much, because I want to hate it because I hate Superman, but I love it and I can't help it. It's such a good show.
Yeah, and it's plus it's just good to have a woman in a superhero
It's
already
amazing.
as a superhero.
Amazing, and they're not, and it's a pretty good portrayal too. So it's, man, and she's awesome. Like, I didn't really love her on Glee, so the fact that she's so good on Supergirl is awesome, because she's refreshing to watch. Man, Melissa Benoit is killing it in that role. So, and her and Grant Gustin, they're both Glee alums. So to have them together in like a different kind of setting is really cool.
All right, awesome. So next up it's thing of the week, dude.
Let's switch it up. Let's have you do the first one, but I'm still gonna sing the song.
Am I supposed to do like a heavy song for it?
Actually, you know what? Let's do something historic. Let's have you do the thing of the week song this week.
No.
Thing of the week.
Wait, are you gonna cut me off if I try to do it? Is that what you're gonna do?
Alright, go, do it.
No, I'm not doing it, dude. I'm not ever. Right. I'm never doing it because my voice is too deep. Thing of the week. Okay, that was horrible, dude. This is why I don't sing live anymore.
Right. You do the first one this week.
Thing of the week. I don't know what my thing of the week is. You know why?
Pourquoi?
No, I'm joking. Actually, my thing of the week is really, really cool. And this is my fatherly side showing, or at least that's the excuse I'm using. It's Disney's Magic Kingdoms. I literally just downloaded today. It came out today for the App Store. And on phones, on the App Store and Google Play. So what it is, it's pretty much a build your own theme park app. That's completely free, and it seems to have no in-app purchases so far. But I may be completely and utterly wrong on that end. But have you heard of it?
I'm not gonna lie. I got distracted by your wife. She's writing.
I know. I'm not reading it. So Kate, I'm not reading it.
So I have no idea what you said.
No. So look, Disney Magic Kingdoms is a app that lets you create your own custom theme park. Disney theme park.
Like Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Sort of like that. I haven't played it yet. I just saw every trailer, but it came out today, and I'm going to try it with Riley, or if not, I'm going to try it right before I go to bed.
It sounds very cool.
All right, so before you get more distracted, what is your thing of the week?
My thing of the week is it's a sci-fi movie coming out April Fool's Day. It's called Dead 7. So get this. It's produced by
this, bruh!
It's produced by Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys. It's got members of Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees, and O-Town. And the movie follows a band of boys as they try to rid a small town of zombies in the post-apocalyptic West.
Do they like sing them to death? What is this?
So the trailer came out today. It's dude, so they actually had a panel for this at Comic-Con last year that I wanted to go to, but I didn't because I didn't have time. I saw the trailer. I didn't hate it the way that I thought I would hate it, because on paper this sounds terrible, but when you see the trailer, there's kind of a little like you can tell they're obviously making fun of themselves and everything, and it's on sci-fi, so it actually looks kind of like it'll like cheesy as hell, but like it might be fun. It's just like it's got Joey Fatone is like this like super gruffy like whiskey drinking like outlaw kind of dude, and like Nick Carter tries to be a badass in it, and it's got like I don't know.
This sounds extremely scary to me, dude. Like this is like a horror movie.
Yeah, it's got like one of the guys from O-Town. He's like some kind of samurai. It's basically like a zombie, not ripoff, but like a zombie spoof of of Kurosawa's Magnificent Seven. But like I don't know, it's just you guys.
This sounds like it's impossible. It sounds impossible and weird.
Yeah, you gotta see the trailer. It's out there.
I'll check it out. I'm gonna check that out. I need to see that.
It was good enough to be the thing of the week.
All right, so next up, that's our thing. That's our things of the weeks.
Things of the week.
Next up, we have. Actually, we're gonna skip some trailers because we're gonna just talk about the one thing that we have about games. We're just talking more movies and TV these days. At least it's the easiest thing to talk about. But this is Trials on Tatooine, and this is VR.
VR, my one of my favorite things to talk about.
My favorite things.
My favorite things. So, Lucasfilm, they had a special press event in San Francisco this week. And, they have ILMX Lab, which we talked about on like a super past episode.
Yeah.
It's their VR, it's Lucasfilm's VR and AR division. And they unveiled Trials of Tatooine, which is a completely enveloping interactive virtual reality experiment, which is how they described it. It's their first, I guess, VR experience kind of game that they're releasing. They released a teaser trailer along with the press conference, and the teaser trailer, it opened up with a person wearing a headset. They had some kind of controller, and then
lightsaber.
The Falcon flies in, lands on Tatooine. You see R2, you see Stormtroopers shooting at you.
Yeah.
R2 gives you a lightsaber. You start swinging your lightsaber. So I'm guessing you're gonna get to ride the Falcon. You're gonna get to fight with a lightsaber. It looks freaking awesome.
It looks amazing. Yeah. You know what's funny is that every time I read about like an article about it, every single person would just say the exact same wording. Like, it's just amazing, astounding, awesome. Awesome. Like, that's all it is. That's everything that everyone can possibly say.
They haven't said through which VR platform they're gonna release. If it's gonna be Oculus, if it's gonna be like a phone thing, or like on the PlayStation. Like, so, I mean, I'm probably gonna end up with the PlayStation VR. So I kind of hope we're able to get it on that side of things. So, man, this is like, I mean, Star Wars and virtual reality, for me, it doesn't get better than that. So I can't.
Yeah,
wait.
I mean, another thing, the PlayStation, I forgot what they released their VR headset. At least they released all the details on it. It's gonna be $400. So far, the cheapest VR headset.
It's not that bad.
No, but I'm saying like it's the cheapest next to like phone related VR, but I don't consider that to be like high end, in my opinion.
Phone VR is still not great. It's good. But
it's great. Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It's pretty awesome for what it is.
Yeah.
But you can't. It won't trump Oculus or PlayStation's or the Vive. But I think we're all seeing that VR is going to be an expensive add-on that's completely worth it, in my opinion. It's just that price of entry is going to lower drastically in order for everyone to get into it.
It's going to revolutionize gaming, especially like Sony with the console, like being able to plug it into your PlayStation and going. And I think I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the pre-sales actually went on sale in Europe, and they sold out within like 10 minutes or something. I don't know if it's true, but I heard.
But I think it's because they only sold 2 though. They only had 2. No, now that actually happened with the Vive as well, where they sold like I think it was like a trillion in 15 seconds or something like that. Roughly something like that.
I'm pretty sure that's an exaggerated number.
But anyways, next up, we're gonna skip a topic, and we're not gonna skip a topic. We're just gonna say one thing that Kate brought up in the comments because she's such a part of the show right now.
She's talking about milkshakes.
So the Willy Wonka chocolate factory thing.
In Orlando.
We forgot to bring that up.
In Orlando.
And that thing is actually worth talking about. That sounds awesome, by the way.
It's called Toothsome. And it's in Universal City Walk, which I think they have one in California too, but you guys aren't getting in the chocolate factory. We are, because we're
we are,
because we're better.
Because we need the calories.
I'll say this: I hate living in Florida, but when it comes to theme parks, our Disney is way better than the one in the West Coast, and our Universal Studios is probably way better.
Let's be honest. It's because everything here is just bigger than over there.
We get.
There's more land. There was more land here.
We have more. I know I'm being an elitist right now, but we have more land. We have more space.
But guess what? We're sinking, and you're not.
We got all the Harry Potter stuff first. But we're getting this like chocolate factory restaurant that's supposed to be like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, and it's opening in the summer. And they released a menu for it, and it's like all these like awesome like milkshakes and like chocolate infused foods. There's kind of a restaurant like that in New York City called Max Burner, which I go to whenever I go to NYC. But the fact that we get something like that in Florida is amazing. I'll be in Orlando next month. for a concert, but I don't think it'll be open yet, which sucks. But
Dude, we have a reason to go for the summer, and if I don't
yes.
get my wife one of those milkshakes, I will be a horrible husband. So,
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard in their night. Okay, no.
and with that, to the next topic,
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse. We had another trailer.
Yo,
It's pretty much the same idea, right? It's like, the end is coming. The end is coming. Oh, what do we do?
the trailer dropped. That trailer dropped today, and I was pretty amazed by the trailer. I haven't been a huge fan of like the last couple ones, but like this, I don't know why this one tied it all together for me. Just like, the fact that we finally saw a like human shot of Oscar Isaac before he turned into Apocalypse. That was cool. We finally got to see Apocalypse super big, and just like seeing like the Horsemen together with him, and like I feel like Jennifer Lawrence is almost the leader of the X-Men in this movie. Mystique, sorry, is like the leader of the X-Men in this movie.
Yeah, and let's be honest, this is such a I feel like this is a cop out because look, don't get me wrong, I think she's an amazing actress. I just find it a little weird that she's playing someone who's normally supposed to be blue, and she's not blue at all almost.
Well, she's always had issues with her true self, so I think because of what happened in the last one, I think she's done. Like, I think she's trying to like let go of that part of herself. So I think I know you think it's a cop out because of the makeup and stuff, but like I think it's more of a character building kind of thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying though. I think it's also using star power though, because if you see the posters, Mystique isn't Mystique. It's just Jennifer Lawrence in a X-Men suit.
And I know she's heading down that Anne Hathaway path where people are trying to hate her, but I still love Jennifer Lawrence. So I'm glad that she's gonna be taking a little more center stage in this movie from what we're seeing. We also we got Sansa Stark from Game of Thrones in there. We see her a little bit more.
I think she suits that role really well, by the way.
Yeah. Sophie Turner. She looks awesome as Jean. Man,
Cyclops' brother, what's his name? I forgot. Avalanche?
Cyclops' brother?
Yeah.
No, his brother is Alex Summers, Havoc. Was he in the trailer?
No, wasn't it the dude with the chest thing? Remember they
Havoc,
changed.
Havoc.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay, yeah. So they changed him around because if I recall correctly, in the comics, he's actually the younger brother, but in this, he's like the older brother. So
they played around with the timeline a little bit with this one. Yeah. We see the younger Cyclops, younger Storm. Dude, I am really excited. The X-Men is my favorite. They're my favorite comic book characters. So every time we get an X-Men movie, I get super stoked. And this, after seeing this trailer, this might be the best one out of the last three. So we'll see.
I don't know. There's some really good ones, but I will say this: I don't think any of the recent X-Men films got me to go watch in the theater. Only because the third one got me so scared of it. But I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love First Class.
Because First Class and Days of Future Past are like.
I agree. I love them.
The two best ones.
I love them, but I went into them with that fear that they were going to be bad.
You didn't see them in theaters.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't get any tickets for it.
You gotta see this one in theaters.
All right, so that's pretty much all the big parts of the show, but we're just gonna go through some quick trailers because they're worth mentioning. And the first one is Tarzan.
It looks like they finally got Tarzan right.
I think for live action.
For live action, sorry.
For live action, yeah. So
we had a Casper Van Diem movie that was not good at all in the past. So you got.
It was weird, yeah.
Yeah, Alexander Skarsgård, Eric Northman, he's playing Tarzan. Margot Robbie as Jane, and Christoph Waltz is in it, so it actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks super high quality. I don't know where it's going. I guess it's gonna be like Tarzan. You have to stop being Tarzan because you have to be with this girl, and this girl has a problem. You gotta help her solve that problem.
It looks like it looks like it's gonna be a basic adaptation of the book.
Which is probably, I hope it's gonna go down that route. And the actual full title is, what is it? The Legend of Tarzan?
It's something like that. I don't actually.
The Legend of the Six Pack. Because this guy has like the craziest, weirdest looking six pack on there.
Christoph Waltz is like the perfect villain.
For everything, dude. He can play any character that's a villain and just pull it off easily.
Yeah. So That looks so. I'll see it. I might not see it in theaters. It depends on.
Same here. That's the thing. I think we're destroying film, Ricky. By the way, you and I, we're just watching like superhero movies, and then anything artsy, drama related, this and that, we seem to not really go crazy over.
Not true. I love indie movies.
No, but let me ask you: When's the last time you pre-ordered like tickets for something?
Pre-ordered
Like as in like just bought the tickets early ahead of time.
last week, Civil War.
No, for an indie movie.
Oh, but you don't have to for indie.
But that's what I'm saying though. It's just that all the energy has been taken from like by these superhero movies right now.
I mean,
a lot of people hate us for that reason.
Yeah, that's what's bringing in the numbers. But I'm a fan of all film, and
I am too. But I'm also
my favorite movie of last year was an indie movie. It was Ex Machina. So it's two different things. I mean, the box office needs these big movies to make money. At this point, in the game, yeah. I mean, I just think that because these big movies are big franchise movies, you tend to get a little more excited beforehand than you do for an indie movie. Like you don't get hyped for an indie movie.
Duh, it's coming out 45 years, man.
Yeah, 8 months ahead of time, But I still enjoy them.
So next up we have, okay, you say it. Do you know the Miss Peregines? Peregines?
Miss Peregines.
Peregrines.
Yeah.
Home for Peculiar Children.
So I'm gonna be honest. I actually stopped watching this trailer halfway through because I'm reading the book.
Oh,
right
I
now,
see. Yeah.
And I was like, it was starting to get into things that I hadn't read in the book yet. So I was like, all right. Oddly enough, like this looks like Tim Burton's return to form. Like the movie looks so Burton-esque, but like in a good way, not like in an Alice in Wonderland kind of way. So I'm very excited just to have him in this kind of universe. I always felt like he should have directed Lemony Snicket's Series of Unfortunate.
I do too. That's just such his film. But you know what? That movie's still great on its own.
And now we're getting the Netflix show for that. But I'm glad that he's doing this kind of story again.
So I never even read this book. Didn't even know it was a book. I feel ashamed to say. But one thing I got was a huge X-Men vibe.
It is.
It's such a huge X-Men vibe.
Which is why I'm loving it, because it's basically Xavier's school for or home for mutants. Just like it's different, but it's that kind of concept. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it too. Now, just so we don't run out of time, Alice Through the Looking Glass is our next one, because they did release something when we got what day was it when we lost an hour?
Sunday.
So they released a trailer about, where did your hour go? You know what I mean? So, which was a little weird, but they gave us another trailer. Well, it's another trailer. It's not the first, right? I don't believe it is.
It's the second. We've had teasers, but I think it's like the second full-fledged trailer.
Yeah. So this was, I honestly did not like how this was edited, just because it was so much stuff. It was like every 2 seconds, it was a new clip. Like it's just nonstop. Like my eyes bled a little bit due to all the VFX. This movie is so heavily visual effects.
I wasn't really a big fan of the first movie.
It was okay, but I forgot about it.
It made a crap load of money. But Tim Burton's not directing this one. It still kind of looks the same. I don't know if I'm gonna love this one either. It looks better than the first. This is kind of one of those movies where I'm reserving my judgment until I'm sitting in the theater and watching the movie, because I kind of don't know how to feel about it until yet. So
For me personally, I feel like it's just so much VFX in there. Like all I see are the green screen rooms. As someone who studied it, of course, that's why I have that in mind. That I ruin movies forever, but it's just so over the top for me personally that it ruins it a little bit.
We'll see.
All right, so that was our last trailer. One thing I did want to bring up is that there's this talk about a possibility of paying $50 to watch a movie that's in theaters in your house.
Yeah, Sean Parker, who was a co-founder of Napster and was one of the I guess co-founders of Facebook as well. He's kind of behind it. So when they first announced this, I thought it was incredibly stupid because of the price point. They were saying it's $150 bucks for the box and then $50 for every movie. And then I was talking to somebody, and they mentioned, yeah, but because I was thinking of just me and my wife, I was like, why would I pay $50 to watch it at home when I could pay less money in IMAX 3D to watch it in theaters? And then they're like, what about families? And then it got me thinking, like, for somebody with a huge family, it's way cheaper to pay $50, watch it at home, and not have to worry about popcorn and any of that stuff. So, for like families, this is actually pretty exciting.
It makes a lot of sense. But not only that, think of it like we talked, indie movies. Those indie movies that you're like, you know what? Now, being married, one of my biggest things is watching movies in bed with my wife. Like, that's like...
Are you going to pay $50 to watch an indie movie?
Some people might, though. That's the thing, though. It depends. It really depends on what the movie is, I think. But it also gives it that chance that at least there's another way for you to watch that movie, right?
Yeah, it's an option.
But also, this is going to be one of those things that I feel like this is going to be the norm in the future. Because, remember... Right now, what theaters want? What's Napa? Nopa? What is it? The group of theaters or whatever where they sort of defend this kind of stuff. Like, well, they go on the defense on this end. But anyways, what they want a monopoly, right? Because it makes sense. They want all the revenue from like these movies to come straight to the theaters. Because what you're doing is you're breaking up a possible monopoly where only theaters get to watch, get the newest movies. Instead, it would be. It's the theater and it's also this box or whatever. But they share revenue with the theaters. And I think that's the thing that they're trying to sort of like get them to go along with.
I know that there were a bunch of directors that were originally...
A lot of big names are backing this, yeah.
But there were also a lot of people who were against it when it first came out. So the fact, I think like Steven Spielberg said he was on board with it, and which is a little insane. And I know that AMC is showing early interest in it too, so I'm kind of gonna follow this one and see how it develops, because I'm very curious to. We already have like some indie movies that, like I have Comcast, and like they'll release on Comcast on demand the same day they release in theaters. So I mean we'll see how it works out. The price point's a little high for me, but I mean if people pay for it, people pay for it.
Yeah, I agree. So we're out of time. I mean, that's the sad truth. And we have to say bye.
Now it's time to say goodbye to all our company.
All right, so we're just going to cut it short, guys. Thanks so much for listening, guys, as always. And I'm Sergio A.M.
I'm Ricky Casman.
You had to read your name on the...
I forgot. I don't know if I want to say it. I'm at Ricky Shot first. Or Ricky Casman.
Try this. I'm Ricky Casman signing off.
I'm Ricky Casman signing off.
Perfect.
See you guys on Sunday, maybe.
Maybe.